Welcome to Soccer Gaming and welcome to this week's episode of the Kansas City Royals Dynasty Rebuild. In this episode, the season is over and we're ready to look at what we did for the season and look forward to see what we're going to do for next season. So in this episode, we're going to go over the whole off season and see the changes we make, some trades that we make and stuff like that. So if you like to watch that, stick around. So the season is over, and we are looking at some exclusive free agents here. Danny Duffy and Taylor both on that list. We're going to take a look and see what we can do, see if we can bring them back. Taylor, I don't think is going to be back. We want Duffy to come back, so we're going to make him an offer here and see if he wants to come back. He wants a lot of money, and so we're actually going to give him the qualifying offer and see if he wants to take the qualifying offer. And if he does, then we will get him back for, I think it's like $19.2 million. If we don't, we get a draft pick, which is kind of why we're doing this. We do want him to come back, but if he doesn't come back, it's not the end of the world because we will be getting a draft compensation pick for it in next year's draft. So something that, we're going to take the risk on. And, he played very, very well this year. I honestly don't know if he's worth the $19 million, but he wants more than $19 million, which means in the offseason and free agency, someone might pay him more than $19 million. So we went ahead and offered him that. Michael Taylor, we offered a decent contract as well. We'll see if he comes back. And looking at the staff, we did get rid of our manager. I feel like we completely botched last year. First base coach, third base coach are gone. Let's take a look and see who we can get. There's a few guys out there I really like. This guy is one of them. Scandura, his velocity, everything is up. Not many things dragging him down. Senquist, same thing. Bunch of pluses there with contact, clutch, and brake. So something that I like to see in a manager, and I don't have a problem paying a manager what I feel like he's worth. So going into the other side of the offseason, we got Benintendi in arbitration. We got Nicky Lopez, Scott Barlow, Brad Keller, Hanser Alberto, all in arbitration. We'll see what we can do to bring them back, but I can't promise you that they will all be back. As far as going over some of the other guys like JJ de Blade, Matthias, gonna try to get as many of these guys back as we possibly can, and you'll have to see who comes back at the end of the year. Going over to free agency, we've already spent $41 million in pending offers there, including Danny Duffy, and he decides that he wants to go for free agency. So we'll see if somebody signs him. If we can sign him, he's part of that $41 million. Looks like Archie Bradley goes to the Yankees. Robert Osuna to the Milwaukee Brewers. Noah Syndergaard going to the Giants. Roberto Perez going to the Nationals. Christian Vasquez going to the Cardinals. Kershaw going to the Red Sox. Didn't see that one coming. And I just wanted to go over these, show you kind of where everyone was going. That way next year, Marcus Stroman to the Red Sox. That way next year, you're not like, whoa, I didn't know they had him. I wanted to show you kind of who signed to. And we didn't go crazy. It looks like Danny Duffy has decided to decline the qualifying offer and remain a free agent. So it looks like we will be getting a draft pick if they go ahead and sign, if he goes ahead and signs somewhere else. Marcus Semien, and there he goes, Danny Duffy to the Colorado Rockies. So we will be getting a draft pick from the Rockies in the compensation rounds. And so it wasn't all not worth it. We ended up getting a draft pick from it, and hopefully that draft pick ends up panning out. We salute Danny Duffy for what he has done for the organization as a whole. Been here his whole career, and just how he's done it. Age 33, a great way to go out, and we're so happy for him and happy to see what comes next. Chris Bryant also joining the White Sox, so the White Sox getting even better. Now, it is time for trades, and we are looking for some young prospect trades. Finding Jordan Lawler here, a potential 68 overall, 19 years of age, could play shortstop, first, second, third, plays everywhere. I like what he's done with the contact, with the power. Everything seems to be increasing, even his arm, everything. So we're going to go ahead and try to get him. And I think in order to get him, we're going to have to give up a ton, which means we might have to move on from our shortstop and kind of base this on real life as far as Alberto Mondesi's always getting hurt. He's always injured. To me, I just want someone that's going to play on the field And we're going to go ahead and do this trade because Alberto Mondesi just injured all the time, and it's just not worth the risk. The next trade we're going to make, we're going to add a deep potential 19 overall guy, and then Carlos Santana, and we're going to go after Caleb Ferguson. Carlos Santana's done his job. He did well last year. 262 is not awful, not great, 30 home runs, but that $9.4 million contract, not something I want to mess with. So we're going to go get 23-year-old Caleb Ferguson, 74 overall already, to try to help us in that bullpen, because we're going back to our roots where the bullpen can win us games. Now, Rule 5 draft time. It's time to try to go out and get somebody good. And Nick Gonzalez kind of fits this bill. 22 years of age, A potential, 69 overall, plays second base, plays shortstop. Kind of a guy that we could look at to potentially replace Witt when Witt decides to move on, or if he doesn't sign back or whatever. Nick Gonzalez is a guy that can come and drop in that second base role, so we go ahead and draft him in the Rule 5. Keep in mind, these guys have to be on the starting roster and have to stay on the 40-man and in the MLB all year long. Next guy is Santhony De Herman. I believe Dominguez, he does a great job in Sims, so we're going to go ahead and grab him as well. And then we are done. Those are the two guys we grabbed. So we grabbed Dominguez and Nick Gonzalez. So super excited to see what pans out there. The trades are not done yet. We have so many more trades to make in this offseason. I could have used the offseason for like trading instead of like free agency. And what we're going to do is we're going to get Bret Pena. I think he's got what it takes. He's really young, 66 already, A potential. We're giving up an A potential guy in Chance Adams. And the reason we're doing this, he's 25 years of age. He's not going to make the starting rotation most likely. Doesn't play that well in the minors. Pena, we're going to go ahead and teach another pitching pitch or two. So I'm not seeing that 3-pitch mix and be like, oh, this is what we have to stay with. He's young. We could teach him new things. So we're going to go ahead and make that trade. And now the biggest trade, I think, of the offseason is going to be going after Jeremy De La Rosa, 19 years of age, 71 overall, A potential, plays center field, left field, and right field. We need an outfielder for our future, and I think we can do that. And in order to do that, we got to give up some pretty big capital. We're giving up Nicky Lopez's $1.6 million contract, Jackson Coar, who's just struggling in the minors, and then Brad Keller at that $4.1 million contract as well. So we're actually giving up $5.7 million to get a guy that costs under $100,000 in Jeremy De La Rosa, and a prospect that I just love, and I think he's going to definitely fit in here and definitely help us with the rebuild. We are rebuilding. You saw last year we played very, very well for a couple months and then absolutely crapped the bed. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen in the next couple of years, that we're just continually growing. Next guy, Luis Diaz, 19 years of age, right fielder. We're looking for outfielders right now. We're going to give up a couple of guys that probably won't ever make it in the majors, and that's going to be Bridwell, Palmeiro, and Hanser Alberto. Didn't want the $2.2 million contract to kind of play in for us. And looking at this, we got plenty of guys in the outfield. We got a bunch of young guys. So maybe we move people around. I think Diaz is a guy that we could definitely move around and see him in left field, center field. Maybe not center field. He doesn't really have the speed there, but possibly a guy that we go to left field for. So end up going to give up Hanser Alberto, Rich Cardona, and then we're looking for another guy, but we couldn't find anything, so we ended up doing that. Now, the next part is we use the player search because we wanted to find someone that is young and could help us at starting pitcher, but someone that's young but not an all-star yet. We're hoping we can build them in to that all-star. And we found Chu Chen, starting pitcher for the Indians. We're going to give up Parker Bridwell, Chris Davis. Not sure why we signed Chris Davis in the offseason. I didn't do it. Peter did, but we went ahead and got rid of him. And now let's take a look at the 40-man rotation. Let's see how this team is looking. Let's see how we're shaping up for this year. See how everything. We're excited about this team. We're excited to see what they could do. And let's take a look at what we got here. So starting pitchers, we got Singer, Lynch, Alcantara, Carlos Hernandez, which I'm really excited for him to come up. And then now we're stuck in the middle between Grayson Rodriguez and Asa Lacy. Who's going to be that fifth starter? We'll definitely use it preseason. definitely use that to kind of determine who we go with early on. Doesn't mean we're going to stick with them all year long. If they struggle, we might bring someone down and up. But Grayson Rodriguez and Asa Lacy, both going to get their chance to prove themselves at the major league level. And we'll see what they do in the offseason and see how they do. If they do great, we'll keep them. If they don't, we'll sit them down, give them some more time, and bring them up when they are ready. But our starting five, very young, not much experience there. Relief pitching, not too bad. I'm happy with what we got. A couple of guys I'm a little worried about, like Stamont. I'm worried that he might not be able to continue. Last year he struggled. I'm hoping he gets better this year, but we'll have to see. And we went out and got a few other guys as well in the trade for Caleb Ferguson. Hopefully he can come up and do well. Genesis Cabrera, a guy that we traded for, hopefully he could do well this year. We're just needing some more relief pitching that's younger. That way they can grow up together and kind of give us that winning mentality from the relief role. Closer, we're a little stuck in what we're going to do. We got like three closers that we kind of would like to see. Caps and Gavin, both guys that played very, very well last year in the minors. So we're hoping one of them can step up this year. Catcher, Salvi Perez. We got our new guy that we drafted last year who's really good, by the way. 78 overall, 22 years of age. Kind of already jumping up over the guys we have now. Then we go over to first baseman, and this is where we get excited. We got 2 or 3 first basemen that we're really excited about. Nick Prado, going to get the bump to the majors. We're also going to let Cassis possibly play this year as well. Ryan O'Hearn already on that 40-man roster, and then we got a young guy that we drafted last year. Hopefully he can come up as a first baseman sometime in the future as well. Second baseman, looking pretty good there. Third baseman, we got Devers, we got Dell, a draft pick. Blaze Jordan has been playing pretty well. Cavaco, all playing well. Nick Lofton down there playing well too. So all of these guys could potentially do something in the next couple of years. So I like the fact that we have all these guys. Witt obviously going to be up in the majors. Jason Guzman, Jordan Lawler, the big trade that we had that involved Alberto Mondesi. Guys like that, we want to see do better. We want to see them kind of build in. You see Bobby Witt and what we gave him for a contract this offseason. We signed him to a long contract and paid him a lot of money because this is a cornerstone of our team. This is who we're going to build the team around. This is who we need to have all the way through the next 14 years. We'll keep him till he's 34. Don't really care. He's that good a player. And a bunch of players played well last year, got a bunch of upgrades, so we'll wait and see how they do this year. Eric Mejia, one of those. He played super well last year in AAA. Just never brought him up. Didn't want to waste that time. And so, yeah, very good player. Very good job there. Going over to left fielders, Benintendi, Jacquez, a guy that we got in the draft, very high overall, but not a very high potential. Then we got the center fielders, and we're going to have to move some of these guys around, I'll be honest with you, because I like all of these guys at center field, all the way down even to Michael Harris, a guy that played very well for us last year. So we'll definitely move those guys around and see wherever we need them. A few guys over to right field, left field. Right field, I'm super excited about with Diaz, Blade, Matthias, Zach Veen. Like, this is a loaded outfield now, and I'm super excited to see what we could do with it. I think JJ Blade will probably make the opening roster. I do like Diaz because he's 19, but I think he does need some time to kind of cook in the minors before we bring him up. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to hit that red subscribe button and comment down below. Let me know how you think the offseason went, whether you thought we did a good job with some trades, whether you thought we should have done more free agency. Please comment that down below. And I will see you guys next time. Slacker out.